Get ready for the smackdown. Get ready for the smackdown. How you gonna react when you're put on your back now? 'Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the smackdown.
Wow. This is the only way that I can describe how I'm feeling right now after watching WrestleMania 30. A mixed bag of emotions, to say the least. I don't know where to start. My mind is racing. There's a part of me that was excited, happy, overjoyed, elated by the end of the show. But fuck, the streak is over. This is something that I thought I would never see. The streak being defeated. Undertaker losing at WrestleMania. It's just something that not only did I not think would ever happen, but tonight, to Brock Lesnar? What the fuck? Okay, really quick, let's go through the whole card. Fatal 4-way elimination match for the Tag Team Championship on the pre-show. I was glad that they turned this into an elimination match and they gave them more time to really go out there and start the show with a bang. The Matadors got eliminated first, not too surprising there. Ryback eliminated next. But then when it was just the Usos and the Real Americans, these two teams went at it. And that was a good portion of the match. The Usos retained their belts. Then we get dissension from Cesaro and Swagger. Swagger even went for the ankle lock on him, and then when Zeb tried to get them to hug, Cesaro was like, no, fuck that. He tried to attack me. He does the big swing, walks out, and pretty much Cesaro is on his own. I thought that was much, much overdue. Now on to the actual show. Hulk Hogan comes out, and of course it's Hulk Hogan. He's the host. And surprisingly, this was kind of, besides one backstage segment, this was kind of the only thing Hogan did tonight. So he gets a good reaction, the music, it's nostalgic. But then he accidentally calls the Superdome the Astrodome, or whatever he called the place. Wherever they were in WrestleMania 3, that's what he called this place, and the crowd was booing. He quickly realized his mistake. That became actually an ongoing running joke, because then Stone Cold Steve Austin came out, who, yeah, maybe not too surprising, but it was surprising that he interrupted Hogan. I didn't know what was going to happen. He teased that maybe he was going to beat his ass. Then The Rock comes out, and I wasn't expecting The Rock. I saw or heard rumors that he was at the Hall of Fame, but still, I didn't think he'd be at WrestleMania. Rock, Hogan, and Stone Cold in the ring at the same time. I can't tell you when the last time I saw that was. Maybe 11, 12 years ago. But that was a moment. That's a way to start WrestleMania 30. That's a way to sort of just pay tribute to three of the top wrestlers of all time. And that was a moment. I really, really enjoyed that. It started the show off in a way to make you think, yeah, this is going to be a pretty big night. First official match of the night as far as WrestleMania goes, Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. Triple H had a good entrance. He was out there with Stephanie McMahon, which I can't think of the last time Stephanie was in Triple H's corner for a match. And honestly, some people will say that it was obvious Bryan would win. I wasn't sure. I thought there was a lot of good chances that Triple H would win this match and just screw us over, but no. Hell of a match. So back and forth. Actually, Triple H, I'd say, for the most part, dominated the match. But Daniel Bryan got the win. Wow. The crowd on fire, chanting yes, 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 and so was I, because clearly, as you can tell, I'm wearing the Yes Movement shirt. Now, that brings us to the six-man tag team match. The Shield, quite dominant over Kane and the New Age Outlaws. They destroyed these guys. It wasn't really much of a match or a competition, especially compared to last year's six-man tag. Shield just looked super impressive, which is interesting because a month ago I would have thought this group would have broken up. So the fact that they're still stronger than ever and destroyed the Outlaws especially, kudos to Shield. They look great. Then the 30-man Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I was surprised that like Bros Clay was in the match. David Otunga was in this match. David Otunga still works there? Wow. The spot where Kofi gets thrown out of the ring and he lands where his feet are on the steps, so that his feet didn't hit the floor, and he gets back in the ring. Like, again, this guy, just after that crazy Royal Rumble moment, no, he has to go and top it at WrestleMania. It came down to, I mean, I was hoping a little bit that Dolph would win, but he got eliminated. Big Show and Cesaro are the final two. And Cesaro picks up the Big Show and tosses him outside the ring. Wins the Andre Trophy. Shocking. Shocking because I didn't think Cesaro was going to be in this Battle Royal. Shocking because I'm actually, now that I see that he won, I'm glad he won. He deserved it. Here's a guy who I initially thought was just going to be on the pre-show, but no. He's in the Battle Royal and he wins it. And also because it would have been too predictable, maybe as justified as it could have been to have Big Show win this, it was surprising that he didn't win. Now we get John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Here's a match that I thought was pretty good. And Bray Wyatt stepped it up. I loved how he got the crowd singing. He's got the whole world in his hands. You know, every Raw after WrestleMania the last couple of years, there's been this crazy chant that's taken off the night after WrestleMania. I wonder if this is going to be this year's chant. The moment where Cena went for the 5-knuckle shuffle, but then Bray Wyatt did that weird upside down stance like he's possessed. Great moment. And Cena, this was an interesting story that they played up on Cena sort of going dark or turning into a monster like Bray was trying to say he was. They've done this before with Cena embracing the hate, but Cena was really into it. He looked like he actually was going to turn heel, but no way. Cena beats Bray Wyatt, and as my friend and I kind of said to each other, Bray Wyatt gets buried at WrestleMania. Now, who knows? I'm not saying Bray Wyatt losing this match is going to hurt his career, because Randy Orton was hot at one point, and then he lost to Undertaker, and then still went on to become a great champion. So, who knows? I just feel like Bray needed this win a hell of a lot more than Cena needed this win. I've already talked about it. But Brock Lesnar defeating The Undertaker at WrestleMania, I still can't believe that I'm saying this. Watching the match, I sort of thought that it was as good as I thought it was going to be, because it was more brawling. It was more just these two slugging it out. Not a classically great wrestling match. No, I wasn't expecting it. But it was brutal. It was harsh. And my friend said something interesting to me where he said the crowd seemed like they weren't really into it, more in the sense that they thought it was a foregone conclusion that Undertaker was going to win. So they were sitting there waiting for him to win and then ready to move on to the next match. But then when Brock, by the third F5, pinned Taker 1, 2, 3, not only did I get up and yell, "What the fuck?" but the crowd's reaction told the story on the shock level and value that this match decision brought. It was shocking. And in one sense, you're going to get a lot of people pissed off, maybe justified, because this is The Undertaker. This is the streak. This is something that we all thought would never end, and it's now over. And it pains me to have seen it. It pains me to admit that this is over, that we possibly have seen Undertaker's last match. However, Undertaker did look like he was getting up there. It did look like this would have been his last match. It seemed like he was at the point where I don't know how much longer he could have gone. And I've always thought that Taker, being the old school guy, would have been the guy to lay down for somebody in his last match at WrestleMania. I'm not surprised that Taker was willing to give someone the streak. I'm a little surprised they gave it to Brock Lesnar, because he's definitely not a guy here for the long run. But this has definitely put him over to the next level on being the most hated guy in the company now. It's and then when the Divas Invitational, Vicky Guerrero, whatever the fuck match you want to call it happened, I didn't give a shit about this match. Not saying I would have cared any other way, but I was just sort of sitting there, blank-faced, just trying to deal with what I had just seen. Seeing Taker laid flat out in the ring, 21-1 on the Titantron. It's just an image that I never thought I'd ever see. So the Divas match, as much as I did want AJ to win, and I'm glad she won, I didn't really give a shit. And even when it came down to the main event, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, I was cheering for Bryan when he came out, but I honestly didn't get into the match, actually, until Triple H and Stephanie came out and they tried to screw him. They brought out that referee. Chaos happened. Stephanie even got hit when Bryan did the suicide dive. Then Bryan gets powerbombed and neckbreakered by both Batista and Orton through the announce table. They go to stretcher him out, but he does the classic Mankind thing of getting off the stretcher and saying no and continuing the match. And Daniel Bryan wins the belt. Or both belts. Hot damn, was that an awesome way to end the show. There was honestly no other way to end the show. If I could say that there was anything that sort of brought me back into this night, was Daniel Bryan. Seeing Daniel Bryan with both the titles, 70,000 strong plus yelling yes, confetti coming down. It was reminiscent of 10 years ago when the name we do not speak won the world title. But it was just that level of excitement of just somebody that you think deserved this but never thought he ever would get it. And the fact that, let's be honest, this was never meant to be. This wasn't supposed to happen. You know Batista was supposed to win this. The fact that Batista was the one that tapped out to Bryan, it makes it that much more satisfying. Anyways, guys, that was WrestleMania. Fuck. You're not going to hear me say fuck this show because Taker lost. I get that it had to happen eventually. I'm not somebody who would have said that Taker should have retired undefeated. I would have liked it, but I understand that the need to have someone defeat the streak. It's something that shocked the world. And seeing Daniel Bryan with both the belts, ending the show, this really became a memorable WrestleMania in more ways than one. Going into it, you didn't know how good it was going to be, but no, it ended up being that damn good. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this year's WrestleMania? Are you just as upset about the streak as I am? Are you just as happy about Daniel Bryan's win as I am? Like and subscribe. Later.